Alright, now we're on to row 6. This is the first row, kind of that's building on the lattice work. So what we're going to do is we're going to slip stitch right in there. And then we're going to single crochet. So you put your hook through, pull up a loop, so you have 2 loops on your hook, pull through, and that's your single crochet. Then you're going to chain 4, so 1, 2, 3, 4. Go into your next chain space, which is right in between your B. Go through there. You're going to make another single crochet. So the repeat, 1, 2, 3, 4, is a single crochet and then the chain 4. So what you're going to do is you're going to do it in every chain space. That's even the chain space between the B's. These ones right here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, single crochet. 1, 2, 3, 4, single crochet. 1, 2, 3, 4, single crochet. So what's going to happen is that you're going to end up with 30 of these chain spaces. And I'll just go ahead and crochet along with you. This row kind of goes by pretty fast. This is why you built up those V stitches. It's for this part right here. Now about, actually more than halfway finished. And we're almost to the end here. Got another one of those pretty color transitions. Okay. Now, we just did our single crochet in our last chain space. So we'll do our 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we're going to look through that first single crochet right there. We're going to stick our hook in there, and we're going to slip stitch. That is row 6. Alright, now that we we've done row 6, we're going to do row 7. And row 7 is basically, step 7 is basically a repeat of step 6. And that you're just doing the, slip stitch into the chain space, doing the single crochet in there, and then the chain 4 single crochets into the next chain space. And you're going to do that all the way around, and you're going to do it 3 times. So by the time you're finished, you'll have 4 rows of the chain 4 single crochet spaces. It's going to look kind of frilly, but it's one of those things that when you get finished, or once you get to the steps afterwards, it makes sense as to why I built it out this way. When I originally designed this, I did not want something that was too heavy, nor did I want something that was overly long, so I wanted something that would build out evenly, and I just found that this was the best way to do it. So let's do step 7, or at least part of step 7 rather. So we did our slip stitch. Here, I'll do it again. So we slip stitch into the chain space, and then we'll do our single crochet, chain 4, and then single crochet, chain 4, 2, 3, 4, single crochet, chain 4, single crochet, chain 4, and then I will go ahead and I will meet you up at the end of round step 7, so that way you can see what it's supposed to look like. Okay, we're almost at the end of round 7. Just got a couple more to go. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Single crochet. 1, 2, 3, 4. Single crochet. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we gotta find that spot right there. And then we slip stitch it all together. Okay, so now here we are, the end of row 7, second one. Zoom out a little bit. Okay. Now as you, well, I don't have big hands. But this is the center motif for your cardigan. And it has that nice, circle center, a little bit of lacy bits. And then what we're going to do next is it's going to build up to, it's going to build up geometrically. Well, not really geometrically yet. That's coming up soon though. But it's going to build up for the back. And it's going to look really nice. I was silly and forgot my thing. Alright, so by now your center motif from end, or from in diameter, should be about 9.5, maybe kind of like stretch it flat. Be about 9.5, 10 inches. And this is going to be the part, and what it does is it kind of sits like right in the middle of your back. So now comes the next part. The fun reason for all these chain spaces. Gotta move my phone so I can see it. Okay. So we're going to slip stitch into the chain space. And then we're going to chain 3. This chain 3 is going to count as a double crochet. And then we're going to double crochet twice more. into the chain space. So you have what's essentially 3 double crochets in the chain space. Then you're going to chain 2. Now we're going to start the repeat. So we're going to do 3 double crochets. So 1, 2, 3. Then chain 2. You're going to skip to the next one. And this is the repeat, is the chain, or the 3 double crochets in the chain 2. That's the repeat. So we'll do it one more time. So you go do 3 double crochets. 1, 2, 3. And then chain 2. So we're going to keep doing the 3 double crochets, chain 2 repeat all the way around. And by the time you're done, you should have 30, because that's how many chain spaces we had. So we'll have 30 of the triple, or the 3 double crochet clusters by the time we're finished with this round. And nice, quit this. So keep continuing until we get to until you get to the next end of the round, and I will meet you there. Alright, we're almost to the end of the row. We just have 2 more repeats to do. Oh, I forgot to do my chain 2. So do 3 double crochet, then chain 2. 3 double crochet, 3, and then chain 2. Alright, then we gotta look for that 3rd chain. So 1, 2, 3, slip our hook in there. This is my chain loose. And then slip stitch. Alright, so we are finished with row 8. Finished with row 8. And it has that nice kind of sunbursty little pattern to it. I love the way it looks. Now, well, I guess you could say it's not row 8, but it's step 8. So now on to step 9. So step 9 is just a repeat of row 8, except you start a little bit differently. So you're supposed to get to the chain space. So we're going to slip stitch through that, slip stitch through there, and slip stitch into the chain space. So you had to do 3 extra chain spaces, or 2 extra slip stitches to get to the chain space so you can slip stitch into it. So then you just go back to doing you do your chain 3, which counts as a double crochet, and then your 2 double crochets, your chain 2. Now we begin the repeat again, which is 3 double crochets. So 1, 2, 3, and you chain 2, skip over your cluster, go right into the chain space. 1, 2, 3, chain 2, skip over to your chain space. 1, 2, 3, chain 2, and then you'll continue all the way around so you get back to the beginning, and then you're going to do it again. So you're going to have altogether you're going to have 3 rows of this kind of like clustered slash granny kind of stitch, and as you can see, it's starting to really kind of expand. So by the time we're done, I'll show you I'll give you measurements on how long or how wide it's supposed to be, and that'll just kind of give you an idea of what's going on. So I'll see you when I am finished with this step. Alright, we've almost reached the end of round 9. So we're going to do our last 3 double crochet cluster, chain 2, and then we're going to slip stitch in that 3rd chain. Okay, now, so we lay this flat. You can see that it kind of wants to curl up a little bit on the edges, but that's okay. It's one of those things that as the garment gets, bigger and heavier, it will, it'll, what's the word I'm looking for? It'll flatten out. It'll loosen up. It won't look like it's caving in on itself. Because, like, see, for example, like the front or the middle here, how it looked like it was going to bunch up like really badly. Look how it's nice and fairly flat now. Well, if you were to kind of hang it up, it would look even flatter. But it's just one of those things to where the more you go along, the more it's going to flatten out. So now the next step, we're on to this part of the step. So this is the base row for your armholes. I should probably show you about how wide this is right now. As of right now, it's about 14 inches wide. So, and that's just across the diameter. Okay, so now we're on to step 10. So we're going to chain 3, so 1, 2, 3. This is going to count as a double crochet, and then we're going to double crochet in the next 29 stitches. I'm sorry, the next 29 stitches, and that includes the chain spaces as well. So on the top, so you're going to have, including your starting one, you're going to have 30 double crochets. So that counts as 1, 2, 3. Now we've reached the chain space, which obviously isn't very hard to do here. And you'll notice that you have your 2 chains. Well, if you made your chains too tight, you can just go right into that chain space and do your 2 double crochets. So there's 5, and then you want to crochet in that little kind of hidden space right there. So that's 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, and 30. So, to recap, you have your chain 3 space that we counted as double crochet, and then you had 29 more double crochets. So how you will end is you will end that chain space. Then do chain 2. And we're going to go directly into this next stitch. And you're going to do 30 more. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, maybe. Here we go, 29 and 30. Then we're going to do, there we go. See how you have your chain space up here? So we're going to do another chain space. So that's chain 2. And then you're going to go directly into this next chain. And or this next stitch. And then you're going to complete that all the way around. You're going to do 30 double crochets and then chain 2, and then you're going to start the next stitch. And you're going to go all the way around, and I will meet you when you are at the end. Alright, now we've reached the end of step 10. Forgot what number I was on for a moment. So we're going to do our last 2 double crochets of our repeat, our chain 2, and then we're going to slip stitch into that 3rd chain. So 1, 2, 3. Slip stitch right into there. Okay, now this is the important part. You've got to make sure that you have 5 chain spaces. So that's 1, 2, off camera here is number 3, there's 4, and then back around here is number 5. Now these are going to create both your armholes as well as the bottom drape of the garments. Now you have the next row I'll explain about exactly what's, or after the next row I'll explain exactly how to form the armholes, and then after that it's just going to be the armholes and then the rest of the body. So I will see you for the next round.